There it is. Hey, everybody, and welcome to NABLL Weekly Update. I'm Tim Semish. Beecher cannot join us tonight, but filling his shoes is Paul from the Utica Yeti. Paul, how we doing?
Awesome, Timmy. How you doing this evening?
I'm great. You guys had an off year, but you guys are hosting. We were talking before we went live. You guys are hosting nationals. How you guys feeling? Getting ready to host everybody. Everybody's coming to your neck of the woods. Beautiful Nexus Center. How's it looking up there?
We're pretty excited. Obviously we're a little disappointed, very disappointed in regards to not being at the national championship. But as far as props to the Spirits, they got a hell of a team, and they're definitely going to represent the Upstate Division quite well. I'm excited to watch the rest of the NABLL participate in the fun that we deal with up here, because they're good. Excited, in regards to the Utica Nexus Center is ready to rock and roll. Temperature is climate control. Every goalie is going to love what they got going on there. I believe the temperature it's at 67 all the time.
Oh, so that's even better too. A little chilly.
Even the runners. I mean, you'll get a sweat. Don't get me wrong, but if you're standing on the bench too long, you're going. It's kind of chilly in here.
That's even better, because I mean we're used to playing in 90-degree heat, 100% humidity down here. So I'm sure the Ignite guys will love that.
Yeah. You all are going to love it. I'm hoping that the Utica Lounge is able to be used and get some entertainment up there and rock out. You can watch the games right from the bar area. As far as
Beecher's been talking that up. The last time I was there wasn't a bar. So where did they put that in? Is it upstairs or?
It's up the stairs. Yes. If you go upstairs, just as you walk in the main entrance, there's stairs to your right, stairs to the left. If you walk up, they'll bring you to a nice common area, and then you walk to your left, I guess you would say, and you're in the bar.
Full bar and everything. Beer,
full bar, full food menu. Mehmet and everybody are awesome. As is the concession stand people. Those guys, they run a great program. As far as I know, the beer specials, they had beer specials. I had during our games, I got live entertainment, so we would do a pregame thing at 6:15. The entertainment would go on and sing till 7:15, and at 7:15, if they wanted to or not, they would do the national anthem. But if they didn't want to, we'd play the regular national anthem, that recorded one. And then after the game, we would go up and they'd play one more set. And, people are able to hang out right there. We're able to hang out right there. We don't have to go anywhere and meet up. And, it's all right there. So that's an awesome feature.
Nice. So you mentioned Thousand Island. Have you been keeping up with any of the other regions yourself?
In all honesty, probably Massachusetts is the next one, and probably the one that the Warhogs are in, and Collar City Kings in Philadelphia. Been watching those, but probably the Massachusetts has been pretty competitive as well.
I'm excited to see that
Cambridge. Cambridge is putting up some numbers and doing some knocking on the doors. The old dogs of the Maine Northmen, horns up to the bake, and everybody. As far as they're kind of, not saying that, not a rebuilding, but your generals, they're getting older. But you look at what Baker's putting on for points and everything. It's like, wow! It's almost like every time he touches the ball, they're getting the goal or something. But Stallions beat them. Props to Andrew Forrester, and
it was a big surprise. A lot of people were like, "Whoa, that was eye-opening."
I was going through it on Sunday. I was just going through Instagram, and all of a sudden I seen that they beat them, and I thought they were in the playoffs already. I'm like, I called up Andrew right away. I'm like, dude, congratulations, you guys beat them in the playoffs. He's like, no, that was a regular season game, but we still beat them, and I'm like, congratulations. That's props to the sport is growing, man. And it's incredible. I know
I mean, look at what happened last year with Paper City. I think they were 3rd or 4th going into the playoffs, and then they surprised everybody and pulled off 2 upsets, not just 1. I mean, who knows who we're going to see? I mean, I if I was a betting man, I'd bet the Nor'easters. But I mean, if the Stallions could beat Maine, Paper City's Paper City. I mean, you know that region better than I do. Who are you picking out of that region?
Yeah, I mean, it's any team can win. I mean, and that's what you want in the league. I know ourselves. The arenas are different. I know, and I'll come out and say we took an ass whooping by the Spirit. It was, I think, 41-12. I don't know if there's ever been a box score that large, but props to them. If we dropped a ball, they scored a goal. I mean, they were just flying everywhere.
Those are the worst games where you blink and
it was, the arena, it's a much smaller arena than what we're used to. So when you're practicing, it's even tighter when you're there. The netting and everything is, it's a nostalgic arena as far as that goes, which is awesome. And props, you gotta know your arena. When they came and played us down in Nexus, it was a 2-goal game. So, it's, again, they got a great team. They got a great team. I'm excited, and hopefully Nate and the boys, they bring home a championship to the upstate region.
Is that who you're betting on to win nationals? Even though we don't know the other players just yet. I mean, we know 2 other ones, but
I'm side by side. Talent wise, yeah, they should honestly. No disrespect to the Wild Westminster as far as, but travel, they don't have to travel nearly as far as any other team. So that's a positive for them. And, as far as they're going to have a crowd. So, the cowbells are coming out and they're going to be ringing them loud.
Did I see that you guys made a no cowbell rule when you guys were hosting them?
And the nice thing about the Nexus Center is that it's a security issue. We didn't make a rule. They have metal detectors to get into the establishment.
Okay.
So
we're gonna have that for
breaking chops. I'm saying, bring your cowbells. You're not coming in. That's not me. They have a little horn thing that they have in their glasses now, so they blow the horns, which I love. That's the cool thing of rivalry and getting things built up, and it's great when the teams get together because the fans travel, and he fills his place up pretty good, and I know excitedly, and hopefully it continues to grow. We had 408 people at one of our games this year. So
408, wow.
408 that came through this turnstile. So and actually it was against the Spirits. So I mean, to play, people want to watch great lacrosse, and he's got a great lacrosse team right now. No question.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we do got to give shout outs to
the Wild are back to back. So
Wild are the Wild. I mean, Beecher's been betting on them all year. I'm not sold on them just yet. I mean, they had a couple close games early in the year, so I mean, we'll see. I mean, it all comes down to what happens on the floor.
How's it looking in the Nashville area? And we're talking about us, but how are you guys doing down there?
We were rocking and rolling early in the year. We started off hot 4-0. A lot of big wins. This past weekend though, we dropped 3 games. We got bit by the travel bug. We had 3 games down in Atlanta, and we went with, I want to say 12 guys. I wasn't even there myself. I was at a wedding. I don't think we had I think we had 1 forward though, 1 true forward. The rest were like D transition guys.
Wow.
And only one of our goalies went. And so we unfortunately took our lickings, but the boys are using it as a little bit of a momentum. We got our regional championship this weekend, and we're hosting here in Nashville. So they got to come to us. They got to play outside. They got to deal with the heat. So we're pretty pumped to try to punch our ticket to come up to Utica, but we gotta settle it on the floor first.
Right.
Which, I mean, there's a lot of games this weekend. I think the only other regions that have punched their ticket so far, you got Thousand Island in upstate with you guys.
Yep.
The Wheat Kings. Do you watch any of their games? I know they
haven't seen much. No, I have not.
They beat the St. Paul Blues, so the Wheat Kings are back. I want to say it's their 5th straight nationals. Okay. Probably one of the longest running teams. And then Dave out in Seattle, they settled their season weeks ago. But you got Dave coming back. I think he's on his 3rd or 4th nationals now. And then everybody else is playing this weekend, to my knowledge. So I think we got 7 tickets getting punched on Saturday or Sunday, and we'll have the full field by Monday night.
Monday night.
Yeah. So I got 2 questions for you. One, you avoided the question. Who's your pick in New England? You said you've been watching that one the most. Are you betting on the Nor'easters, or are you pulling off an upset?
You know what? I'm going with the Horns.
Baker.
I think Baker and the boys are, depth and, the knowledge of the game. We played them early on this season at the up in Onondaga at the what was not the Founders Cup. We were invited the Invitational, Northeast Invitational, and we were able to play against the Northmen up there, and it was a heck of a game. I think we lost by 1 against them, and they got great goalies, and they're coming into a tournament. There's not just one goalie. There's not just 2. They got 3 in the stable that at any point, one of those goalies gets hot, and you wonder it's a new ball game. I know that's huge, and it's not a horrible drive for them as well, or anybody in the is that the main league? What is I don't even. But as far as that league, what's their division called?
They're the New England region.
The New England region. In regards to any one of them, it's not a horrible drive to Utica. So they do. Maine is probably the farthest out of that drive. But even at that, I think they said it was about 5, maybe 8 hours at the most.
That's not too bad.
That's not too bad. So they'll any one of those teams out of Massachusetts, I think has got a chance, just because they all play tough. And I think the Rampage, they're the only ones. There's 5 teams in that division.
Yeah, I think the Rampage are technically eliminated. I think they're doing a 1v4, 2v3 situation. So it'll be Nor'easters versus Massachusetts, the Stallions, and then it'll be Maine versus Paper City, and the winner of that play for the right to go to Utica.
And I believe that, if I'm not mistaken, the Stallions and the Cambridge, they've played competitive games. I mean, none of these games, are 40 to 12 blowout concepts. It's a very competitive league where any one of maybe Andrew Forrester pulls out an MVP weekend and he brings the Stallions to Utica. I'd love to see that too. I wish the Stallions well. Good friend, I coached him back in college. That's why I pushed for Andrew and the Stallions. But I think the Northmen are going to come out of the New England region.
I mean, that'd be cool to see the Northmen. Personally, I think it'd be cool to see, like last year it was cool to see Paper City, their first-year team. Or the Stallions, just because having different teams in nationals every year just kind of makes the league just a little bit better, in my opinion. Makes a little more discrepancy just to see what happens. But
Now, Collar City Kings, what's going on with the not the Hudson Valley, the Metro region?
The Metro region, yeah. To my knowledge, Collar City's 6-0. I do know the Warhawks played them close twice though. So if I know Otto, he's trying to get his troops ready for this weekend. Otto really wants to bring the Warhawks to Utica because that's a semi-close drive for them as well. So they could be full force.
Yeah.
But Philly played. I feel like Philly pulled off an upset earlier this year. I can't remember off the top of my head, but they beat somebody they weren't supposed to beat. And so, I mean, you never know in that Metro region. I mean, that Northeast region, like you said, it's all of those teams. Any day you get a hot goalie, you get a guy who could just seed to the net or seed the floor, or a defense that's just communicating right. And I mean, it could be anybody's day up there.
As far as you got to watch out for, Albany being 6-0. We've played them several times throughout the years, and Justin has sometimes you'd be surprised where they show up with 10 guys, 12 guys, and they know how to play that style of game. And it's like, how in the heck are you guys able to do it? But
I swear McKinney could probably win a box game by himself, depending on playing against.
Him and sugar. What's 66? I forget his.
Isn't that McKinney?
Not McKinney. No, Justin is he's usually, I think, like number 26.
Oh,
But
you're right. They do have another guy that's just
yeah,
like
I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but an incredible player. One of those players that you're like, holy, da 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 da. It's like, how do we get some of the, we got one with Blaine Stotler. Some of these players on all our teams have that one guy that is like, how in the hell do you do that? And it's incredible, which is helping grow the game, because I know we got kids that are watching and they're seeing these things and they're practicing it, and it's exciting times, no question, no
Yeah,
question.
definitely. I mean, yeah, I mean, I think that's one thing with like nationals being in the Northeast this year. Like, as great as it was personally for me because it was driving distance, but Columbus and Chicago were cool for the Midwestern teams. But I do know, like, when you guys came to Columbus, I know you guys drove and you were missing a couple guys just because of the
Yeah,
travel.
yeah,
Last year, Chicago was the same thing. So being able to see those Northeastern teams at full force with a bandwagon of fans behind them, like, it may be a lot of done and around the tournament just because everybody's going to be there. They're going to be there full force. They got legs. They can rest guys. Like, it could be a bit of a shootout when you come to the national.
very much. Yeah. Well, I know 2 years ago, the Wild were going to come out, and Westminster was going to come out to play in the Battle in the Barge, but things broke apart and they couldn't make it. But in regards to traveling, it's huge. In regards to, I'm hoping that people, it's really not a bad centrally located for the upper northeast corridor in regards to, it's 5 hours from Pittsburgh concept. It's
Mhm.
5 hours from New York City. It's 5 hours from the Boston area. So there's a pretty large pool that, it's the 5 hour drive isn't too bad. It's when you start getting into that 8, 10, 15,
Yeah.
17.
Yeah. I had a couple guys on the national squad. They're already saying if we make it, they're going to drive. And I think it's like a 17-hour drive for us or something like that. And
It's
I don't know how they're going to do that and then try to play.
right.
But I
Yeah,
mean,
well, it's a road trip, man. You're going to play you want to know what? I know when we drove out to Columbus, we had a caravan of people, driving, and it was pretty cool. All of a sudden, 6, 8 cars are rolling into one spot, and everybody's getting out, stretching out, and
yeah.
it's definitely a pretty cool thing to have a national championship. A true national championship. I mean, you got 10 divisions throughout the United States. A gentleman just talked to me today, called me up, became a lacrosse fanatic, well, I'm going to call him. And he wants all this information in regards to when these tournaments are, because, he's a hockey fan, he's a baseball fan, and now he's a lacrosse fan. He's like, I don't know how people can't come watch these games and say this is just incredible. So getting the fans, not just in Utica but throughout, is huge. Just getting what Beecher does and what the NABLL does with utilizing the streaming, getting the games out there so people can watch. That's cool stuff.
Oh yeah, we literally, I mean, we don't even stream our games, but just from other teams streaming our games for us, I guess. Like when we play them, they stream the games. We've had a onslaught of fans this year to the point to where box lacrosse at the youth level in Tennessee just hasn't existed. But now there's a demand for it. Now we have youth clinics set up and we have all that kind of stuff. Just because parents are like, hey, my kid saw this game, or hey, I watched this and my kid plays field lacrosse, but now he wants to play box. Like, how do I play box? What is this? Like,
Yeah.
you're right. People, they watch it and it's just immediately addicting.
It's nonstop action. The action concept, and the one thing that I hope that, and I'm not a slam on the league at all. I'm definitely 100% pro. We need to get more with our officiating, more structured rules in regards to. We have a lot of Can-Am players coming, and the game is similar. Obviously, it's very similar, but their rules concept are a little bit different than our rules. How much are we going to take in regards to, and I love the Can-Am rules. I'm not knocking those rules at all, but in regards to the style of play, the physicalness, it's a very physical league. The Can-Am is. Are we going to continue a how we got to get our officials all on the same page is what we need.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely, and that's why like Dave Mather's in charge of our refs at National.
Dave's done a great job, by the way, on everything. Absolutely.
Like, I think to your point, the Nationals is kind of the best place for that, and then it trickles down from there because we try to bring in refs from all over the country. It's not just like the first year. I think a majority of the refs in Columbus were from kind of that Great Lakes region, and I don't think we had anybody outside of it. And a lot of the northern teams were very frustrated with Nationals because they weren't. Yeah, you guys weren't allowed to get away with a lot of stuff, and those refs just hadn't seen that lacrosse before. So Dave, that was Dave's idea going into last year of like, hey, let's bring a couple guys from everywhere, so that way the rules, we can kind of adopt the rules, and then they can trickle down into because the refs down here in the South, they don't know what a cross check is. They think it's field and they think it's an immediate penalty. I literally a couple games ago we had a ref yell flag down when he called the penalty. I literally just put my hand on my face, was like, you just raise your hand, man.
Was he wearing a baseball hat as well?
He was actually. He showed up to ref the game. He is box certified, but he's just U.S. boxer certified. And he literally had his field hat on. And I was like, do you have a helmet? He was like, no, do I need one? Yes, you need a helmet. So he refed the first game in a hat, and then I ran to Sports Authority, or not Sports Authority. That shows my age. I ran to Play It Again Sports down the street and bought him a cheap like black helmet that I could find for like $10. Like, brother, you got to put this on. You're gonna get knocked in the head. But no, yeah, that's one of the things that's one of the big initiatives of the league is having refs from around the country come to national ref. That way we can explain the rules to them. They can see how you guys play. Because it's one thing for me to explain it to a guy down here or out in the Midwest. For me to explain the physicality, it's a whole nother ball game to watch you guys play. Like I watch your guys' games in the Northeast, and it's a whole different ball game sometimes. Like the way guys have contact over the middle, the physicality on the boards, but also that fine line of violence. If you guys know where to be violent, but also there's that line of 3 feet off the board, so you're not boarding or anything.
Right. Yeah.
And that's you're talking about millimeters of finesse, but physicality at the same time. And so that's one of the things that I like that about nationals, that the refs get to see it full bore and get to experience your guys' I don't want to say savagery, but I mean that as a compliment.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there was a reason why they played the game. It taught the young men, boys to men. I mean, it brought the young man to be ready to participate in what next feat that has to be done. That's the even more awesome thing of if guys have an opportunity while they're up here. Being in the Haudenosaunee territory where Utica is located, the history that is around here is plentiful. Where if guys are interested in the history of with Onondaga, with Oneida, there's so much. I know Neil Paulus will be at the championships. Some of the stuff that where lacrosse itself originated was right here in where the games are going to be played. Not to take anything from Onondaga, excuse me, because that's what their sign outside their Nedro is, where the games are played. This is where the games originated from. So if guys do have or families have the opportunity, definitely when you're not at the arena, get out and see some of the opportunity, the history, because there's great history around the area. That's the cool thing too.
Yeah, but I was up there either a year or two ago for last night, and when we weren't at the games, we were driving around because I was there with the Team Israel guys, and a couple of different guys. I think a handful of guys actually went to Six Nations and just went to go see the rink because they had never seen
the Mecca. Yeah,
the Mecca. I mean, you have to see it. I played up there a few years ago, and just walking in that place is just so daunting. You can feel the history when you walk in there, and they got the old rink outside in the parking lot, and we got to shoot around in that. But I mean, yeah, that's one of the reasons why the league wanted to do Utica this year was we knocked the Midwest off the link, but now we're going to literally the cradle of the sport. It's where it's meant to be played almost.
Right.
And I'm personally hoping that leads to more people in the stands, more fans, because the teams will bring people, but just having more people interested. Because last year in Chicago, if you walked on the street and was like, "Hey, there's lacrosse game," nobody's going to show up.
If I can throw a suggestion out there in regards to get a hold of a couple of I'll definitely reach out to the local TV station. I know Spencer Davison's already, he's got it already in his calendar, but if you guys can get it out on the radio, and do some marketing, because there's no question there's fans out there that want to, there's nothing going on right now, and
I was
championships after champion. This is the first of, actually, it's the second of many championships that are coming to Utica this year. And in regards to the fans want to watch it. So if you can get the word out there somehow, they're going to come through and start watching the game, because they know that it's from around the country. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, which I have to ask, do you feel like a little bit of like lacrosse championship hangover, like coming this winter? Because like you got us coming, and then juniors is up that way, and then you got Worlds. You got the women's World.
It starts tomorrow morning, actually, at 10 o'clock in the morning. The U.S. Box Championships are here till Sunday, or excuse me, till Saturday afternoon. So we're filled right up this weekend with that. And then the NABLL's coming in the end of August, and then
I think we lost Paul. We might have lost Paul. I think we lost Paul.
It's incredible, man. It's great stuff. And then again in October, Laxnay. So as far as the amount of lacrosse, we're trying to find more. We just started our youth. The junior Yeti are up and now running. So we got the junior Yeti and the U16 and the U18, and then we also have the women that we got going. So we're excited.
Okay. How many women do you guys have in your program? Because I know some teams have women's programs, some teams don't. How many?
Right now, we have practice tomorrow. There's 19 on our roster.
Okay.
So it's a great start. We got three goalies. One's coming out of Albany. Britt has been with us. She's with Team USA right now. So she's been practicing with us all season long. So it was a great opportunity to get her some reps and also have a fourth goalie at practice. And then, players wise, we have a lot of field players that are hockey players, field lacrosse players that all of a sudden they played it a couple times and they're like, this is awesome. I'm not getting a whistle. I'm not getting hit in the head. I can cross check somebody twice. It's, they're excited, so.
I feel like every girl I talk to that ends up playing box, they instantly like they're easier to sell girls on box than it is to sell field guys on box.
Yeah.
Because they're like, wait, I get pads, I get to hit people. This is awesome.
Well, if you take a look how the women play lacrosse, everything in the field, it's cross check. They're doing a cross check move until they get broke. They just can't push it back out. Well, now you're able to actually bump and hang, and it's an awesome sport, man. I'm looking forward. The girls are looking forward. We're in the NABLL. We have a team ready for the NABLL championship weekend. We also have a team that's going to be in the Laxnay tournament. So we got a lot of lacrosse going on, and we want more. Hopefully we can do some sort of winter league.
It has been discussed. I don't know the logistics of it, but
I don't know. It would be tough, but I tell you, to get some of these players that all of us have a little bit more showtime is, you want to know what? If we run something parallel to the NLL, maybe they do get a look. I mean, I got to believe that's why the Canadian games, there's so many coming out of the CLL or whatever league that is there. Well, they're in shape. They're in season. They're ready to go. They're game ready. They're plug them in. It's box lacrosse. Plug them in. Put them in the lineup and wind them up and let them go.
do you guys do anything right now, like in the Northeast? Like, do you guys scrimmage like Thousand Islands or try to do tournaments?
I've been in contact with Ron Cogan, excuse me. And as far as we're definitely talking. They have a facility that has turf all the time. The Nexus Center has turf all the time. It's just a matter of, let's do it. We can talk, everybody can say, but you know what? it's like what you guys did. You guys we all conversed, and you said, let's start our own league.
Yeah.
And that's what it's come down to. People listening, us managers listening to what you guys are putting out there, and loving what you're doing so far. Obviously any job, tweaks can be made, and it has to be, because that's the way it all works. So
Yeah.
it's been an awesome ride. I'm excited for the end of August, because the NABLL is going to have we're going to make it special, man. There's no question about that. I'll definitely be on the mics. I know I got some of my crews wanting to help out and do some work, so maybe we can work some magic and get some bands to do some pregame jamming and postgame jamming, and
That would be awesome.
that would be a good time. You guys are going to love it here. Everybody's got a locker room, as far as whether they got to take their stuff with them or whatever, but you got a locker room, showers, temperature 68 degrees.
Yeah.
Downtown, lots of bars, lots of bars. So, I'm sure it's not Nashville. I know it's not Nashville, but it's
all the Nashville bars are the same. They're all literally the same here in Nashville. It's a country band, and then you walk down the street and it's a country band. The only difference is the neon light that they shine. Like they're playing the same songs. There was one time I was on Broadway with some friends, and we were at a bar. We were playing Country Roads by John Denver, and we left and we went like 3 doors down, and the band immediately started playing Country Roads. It was like we couldn't have planned it any better. I was like, am I in a Twilight Zone episode right now? What is going on? But no, you mentioned the locker rooms at the next center. Those are gorgeous, and that's actually one thing, as from a player standpoint, I'm actually looking forward to. That just adds another like element, because you guys probably have your own locker room at the Nexus Center, right?
Yeah, we have our own. It's off season for everybody, so we have the visitor room, locker room that the hockey, the AHL hockey team uses.
Oh, so you get a little bit bigger one, a little more fancy.
Oh yeah. My I'm going to give my boys everything they can. If I can make this the pro non-pro team, I'm going to give my boys everything they have, because they deserve it. Without the players, I don't care. I can have whatever I have, but without my guys, it's nothing. It's what you the players, put on the field. We can give, as far as the managers, we can give you guys, minimal, or we can give you what we. I want my guys to have the best. I want them to feel like pros, because what they put on the field, I think, are pros. Without a question, what the guys are putting on the field is worth the admission to come watch. No question.
Yeah, which I gotta give you a shout out. You guys do operate probably at the closest to professional level from like an organizational standpoint, logistics standpoint. So any of the GMs watching the show, anybody that's coming out to Utica, grab the crazy guy Paul and just ask him questions. I think I did that the first year. Where it's just like, hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? How do you operate? Because I mean, you've been running the team for what, 4 years now? Because you guys played 1 year until that, right?
I've been running it since it's going on 5 years now. But in regards to it's a lot of guys doing a lot of things. As you know, the general manager, we're doing a lot of the behind the scenes running around. But you want to know what? You got a core group of guys that you want to know what? When it comes down to, they're in your corner, pushing your back up, keeping you going. So that's and shout out to my core, because the Jimmy Fays, the Brandon Davis, the Nick Kiefers, the Jesse DeMays, again, the list goes right down through that. I got to give these guys whatever I can, because again, without them, there's no this. So I look forward to continued years ahead, because the sky's the limit. Where do we want to take it? That's the awesome part.
Yeah. All right. I think we got like probably 5 minutes before Beecher's screen cuts out on us. So I got to ask you a question going back to the field for nationals.
Yes.
I know your pick, Thousand Islands. I know your second pick, probably the Wild. Were you in Chicago last year, or did you just watch?
I just watched.
Okay. So you know the perennial national team. Who's your sleeper pick for next? I know mine. Me, it's obviously the Ignite. But who's your sleeper pick that people watch out for? Is it someone like the Wheat Kings, the Reapers, or are you going with someone just field?
Albany.
Albany. They
Color,
historically haven't done great at nationals, though.
Color Kings. Yeah, they're an hour and a half from here. They
That's
had to drive an hour and a half. Why they're not in our division, I don't know, but it's a good thing, bad thing. It gives us 2 other games that possibly we can sneak in. But yeah, my sleeper is no question Albany. You know,
Albany.
they got a legend in Rob DiGiorgino as a goalie, and he can save the ball, man. And Lucas Maloney, that's his name, Lucas.
That's who it is.
That's his name. It just took me a little. It took a little time, but we found it. And once again, being an hour and a half away from home, that's that's got a watch out. Watch out for Albany.
That's a good point. I mean, Otto may have something to say. The Warhawks.
No disrespect to Otto. No disrespect to Otto. I'm not, but I'm just knowing that what I'm seeing, and if they make the dance, like I said, a hot goalie. You get a hot goalie, and you got some Lucas Maloney's and Justin McKinney's, and a core guys that have been traveling around playing in the fast-paced games. You guys don't play full-length games, right? When you do a travel weekend.
Yeah, we play like usually running time. Sometimes we'll play like a full length. We'll either do 412s or 415s, depending on like.
But it's running clock.
Yeah,
running clock.
It's usually running clock.
Gotcha.
Outside of maybe the last like 5 minutes of the fourth quarter if it's a close game.
Right.
Right. I will say my sleeper picks, obviously Nashville, because obviously I want my team to win. But I think my sleeper pick is the Wheat Kings. They've been there 5 times. They've never finished better than 3rd or 4th. But if I know Mimbo is rallying the troops already, he's probably already recruiting guys from the other teams in that region. I don't know. I feel like it's either this year or never for the Wheat Kings, which I don't know if that's a diss or a compliment.
Right. Well, it's same goes with the Spirits. I mean, they got a team that's built for great succession. They're ready to. Are you able to keep it together? As you know, as a GM, it's tough to keep teams together year after year after year. Whether guys are moving, whether families, it's called life. And that's the awesome thing of this league is it allows some of the older guys to still participate in a game they love to play, and it also gives those younger guys. We had several younger guys this year than years past. The opportunity to play with legends, and to watch Neil Paulus pass on to one of our younger guys just information that is immense. That's awesome. Same thing with Dave out in Seattle. The knowledge that man has playing goalie. The next goalie that takes his spot, I'm sure, is going to be a top-notch goalie. So, and yourself, down in Nashville. What sucks is we're all getting older, and there comes a time where you want to know what, it sucks, but you do hang them up, and you want to know what, to be able to be around that next guy that you did coach for 5 years as he was coming up playing behind you or whatever, and now he steps into that role. It's pretty awesome stuff as you get older. It sucks because you can't play, but to watch.
Time comes for us all. I joke with the guys like, hey, I think I've said I only have 1 more year in me, like 3 years in a row.
Right.
But no, I know time's coming for all of us, unfortunately. But you're right. I mean, there's a lot of youth in this league, which I think shows the promise of like what's to come down the road. Like you got the older guys who can still play from time to time. Yeah. Then it's just young whippersnappers that feel like they don't.
And I know I hope it grows this way in regards out west more towards Buffalo, where we can get a team out of Buffalo. I talked to a team that's hosting an awesome tournament this coming weekend out in East Aurora, and it sounds like they may be interested. So hopefully we can get another team to the upstate, and maybe we do a little separation or splitting up or whichever.
I mean,
Greg Beecher's raising his hand. You want to know what that means?
I think that's Greg giving us the old wrap it up hook. So you got any final words for us, Paul?
Yeah, I just want everybody, when you come to Utica, do me a favor, open up, get out of the arena and check out downtown. It's a beautiful city. There's a lot to do as far as players. make sure you bring a sweatshirt. I ain't gonna lie to you. Bring a sweatshirt to where it is going to be August, but I'm telling you, inside it will get chilly. It's called the igloo for a reason.
What? I think that Beecher's also way of telling us to hurry up. I did hear chicken roni or chicken is the meal. Chicken rigatoni is the meal in Utica.
Chicken riggies, Utica greens. If you want some Utica greens, you gotta like them. But if you like greens, it's an incredible eatery. The pizza. I don't know if you guys like pizza, but there's enough pizza places in this area that are going to make you go, "Oh my God, there's some awesome pizza here." No question. But chicken riggies definitely. It's a Utica thing. A great restaurant right down the road from the Nexus Center. It's a Utica thing. Bank Square Brewery. A lot of great things. Once again, here's this. The kicker is there's a brewery, a large brewery. They sell Saranac beer, Utica Club. They have tours. If you guys get here early enough, or if the games are done and you don't have anything to do, take a look at the Utica Brewery tour, because it's a great tour, and you get some beer at the end.
Not a bad thing. So it sounds like the fans and the players will be more than busy with lacrosse on hand, but also plenty of food, plenty of good stuff to do in Utica.
Plenty of things to do. The hotels are right around the corner. There's a bridge. You go over the bridge. There's plenty of things to do. As far as bring your A games, fellas, because Utica's ready to watch some awesome lacrosse. I hope the fans go up and represent well, and a good crowd, and we rock the house.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. All right, well, everybody, that's going to do it for us on NABLL Weekly Update. Thank you, Paul, for filling in for Beecher this week.
Absolutely.
Next week, we'll have a preview for nationals. We'll have all the teams set. We may even have the drawing for the play-in games to see who's playing who that first day in Utica. But
that would be cool.
Joining us, and we'll see you guys next week.
Denny Nation.